Welcome to another episode of Double D Adventures. Today we're going along Cameron Lake right there, and we're going to be heading up to Mount Wesley and see about Mount Horne, see if we can put those two together for a day out in the wilderness. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's a beautiful sunny day. It's good to get a little hike in just to keep those legs going for our big summer hike. So yeah, let's have fun and enjoy this.
All right, join along if you want. Bye for now. Well, time to head on up off that nice flat path along the lake. Time to head up. Heading up from the lake towards the train tracks. And we follow those for a bit and then head left up again up the mountain. So for now, I don't know if it shows the steepness, but it's a steep little trail here. Get your heart rate up.
Outdoor Stairmaster.
Yeah, Outdoor Stairmaster. Almost up here at the track. After that little climb, it's pretty steep. It's one way to get yourself warmed up. That's the old in trail to Port Alberni, our train line. So you can see here, it goes both ways. Oh, more flowers.
They smell pretty out there.
They smell pretty? Oh yeah, not bad. Right on. So we're going to continue on along the track here for a bit, and there'll be a trail. Catch my breath, eh? Trail off to the left here, which will be the proper start to the climb to the Mount Horne and Mount Wesley junction. It's steep going up there, so again, heart rate's going to be up, but you get a bit of a view of Cameron Lake just below us, so that's pretty cool. We spent some time there kayaking and such, but yeah, all right, keep going on. Well, as you can see, right here is the trail that goes on up, and you have a trail sign actually, so you can't really miss it. But before we get going here on the steep up, I'm going to get rid of my vest because I'm not going to need that in a moment, because my heart rate's going to be up, my body temperature is going to be up. I'm not going to be cold anymore. All right, we'll carry on. There's some really pretty birds in here, the sound. So let's see if we can stand for a second, just listen. Somewhere in there. Very cool. Dar was just asking, why do all the trees always seem to land on the trail? I guess just to make the trip more entertaining.
Oh, look at that new one that fell down. Wow.
Yeah, that's a gooder. And another one. It's a good thing I have long legs, unlike someone else. Well, they're long too, they're just not as long as mine. So I can just literally step over. Well, we're making it to the junction here between Mount Wesley, which obviously goes to the right, and then Mount Horne, which goes straight. So the two trails here are, that one there is Mount Horne, and this one here is Mount Wesley. So we're heading to top Mount Wesley first, I think.
Sure, sounds good.
Yeah, which is up there. It's again a very steep climb. It's got a little bit of ropes and stuff in it, but yeah, we'll hit that first. All right, let's carry on. So to just give you an idea, I got this thing stuck up 4 feet above the bush here. That there is Mount Wesley, so that's what we're going up right now. That's kind of a false summit look at it, but that's where we're headed up to. And we're gonna go through this old cut block right down here to get to it. All right, carry on. Coming on a little bit of a slide here. Took a bit of the trail out. That's kind of, you know, just wow. So you always got to be mindful of where you're hiking. You never know what's loose and what's not. Lots of pole jab marks in these trees. A little bit of frost heave under here too. All right. As we keep going. Pretty steep spot here. We're going to be going left around it there where Dar's at and keep making our way up. It gets steep and rocky up here, even though from a distance it doesn't look like it. There's a trail back down. Even in the camera it doesn't look steep, but you get your heart rate up, that's for sure. Say hi. Hi. All right, I better catch up to her. Yeah, a little bit of rope here to help, I'd say, more for the down climb, as Dar said, than the up climb. And we'll keep going up. All right. First glimpses of the Cameron Valley. So that's where we started, right down at the bottom there. Cathedral Grove, the world famous Cathedral Grove. And then over to our right here, if you can see it, it's Mount Horne. So we'll see if we get up onto that one after we accomplish this one first. So again, I better catch up to Dar. I'm spending too much time swinging this camera around. All right, let's keep going. Now, let's be entertained by Dar climbing this little rope section. To give you an idea, I'm gonna get right in by the wall. Not sure with the sunlight there if it shows you how steep that is. Let's go in here. There we go. You're climbing there. I love the fun spots, just to keep it interesting. There she is. She's at the top of it. My poles are banging around my wrist. Okay. I'm actually going to use the rope this time. I normally don't. Sometimes I just don't trust them. But I'm not putting much weight on it. Just enough to leverage myself up. All right, give you an idea. That's what we just came up. So we'll have to go back down that again later. Whew. Well, again, Dar's taking off on me. Time to catch up. Back on another shelf. Get another look over top of Cathedral Grove and Mount Horne. And back into the bush. Right on. Well, the higher we go, the more arid it kind of gets. So more rocks, less undergrowth, a drier kind of moss as we continue up. So you get those glimpses through the trees, which is kind of nice. But we're making it. We're getting there. All right, carry on. So what we're looking at right now is Mount Horne, Mount Irwin, Mount Howell, Mount Joan, Mount Squarehead, Mount Curran, Mount Schofield, and Mount Marks. The Beaufort Range over there. And then back down there again is the Cameron Valley. So just give you a little sweep of that again. It's a good little view. Been on the top of a lot of those. Actually, I think every one of them. Fantastic. Little bushwhack in the fall down here. Gotta love it. We had quite a windy couple of days. There's been a lot of fall down on this trail. So I'm assuming that's part of this goings on. Trail is actually right there. So you kind of have to make your way around it, just like Dar's doing right now. Yeah. As weather happens, trails change. All right, continues on over there. That's great, keep going. So we're just about to the lookout of Mount Wesley. That doesn't mean we're at the top. The top itself is in the trees and a bit further past it, but we're coming up onto this rock here, which gives us a view in a minute down onto Cameron Lake and over Mount Arrowsmith. As you can see, it's opened up nicely, and yeah, I'll get you a better view in a second when we get there. So we're now on the edge of the bluff viewpoint on Mount Wesley. The top of the mountain is just in those trees over there. Like I said, there's no view there. There's a little cairn, but this is the place that you stop to have your break, your lunch. Right now, I'm gonna drop my poles off. Give you an idea. Bit of a cliff. Up there, Mount Arrowsmith and Coakley. So, on our last hike with you guys, we were up, you can see what's called the bumps in there. That's where we were at in that snow. So today, we started right down there. There's a highway. That's the highway into Alberni Valley in Cathedral Grove. We started there, hopped onto a little gravel road that goes along the lake, popped up there to a train track, an old train track that was decommissioned, and then from there you hop up into this bowl between Mount Horne and Mount Wesley, and you can either go one way or the other, and then make your way up here. So in the background, over the tip of Mount Horne, that is Klitsa. To the left is Namint. Yeah, there's a lot of mountains back there that we've already been on. Very cool. I hope you've enjoyed this view. And well, here we are at the summit. Thought we'd just tag it off. Like I said, no real views here. You're in the trees. But there it is. So it's actually next to it, standing on the tallest point. There we are. And Dar is vandalizing by writing graffiti in the snow right now. March 2026. Right on.
Yay, we did it.
Yay, we did it. So we're heading on our way back down off the top of Mount Wesley. And we're gonna get back down to the junction where the Mount Wesley, Mount Horne signs are. And from there, we're gonna make our way up Mount Horne. So yeah, if we see anything interesting on the way down, we'll maybe capture that. If that's me tumbling down the hill or, you know, anything like that. But
Or a logging road or two.
yeah, a logging road or two, or something that you know, because you're seeing some of this on the way up. Just so got down to the bottom of the trail off of Wesley before we start towards Mount Horne. Here's the trail right here. But the thing is, you're now coming onto a road that wasn't here a year or so ago. The good and the bad about this is, well, it's a road, but which always leads to access to places. But it means they might be falling in here again, which is not that great. I mean, there is some beautiful trees, but that's why we come here, is for the beautiful trees. So just an FYI that if you want to see it without trees gone, you might want to come sooner than later. And as you can tell, it's been all pushed off. So now we're back onto the little trail towards Mount Horne. All right, we keep going on. So from the road there to the top of Wesley was about a 45-minute hike of pretty much straight up. Now it's just going through some very old cut block before we get to the junction to Mount Horne, which is only a couple minute walk from here. So there we are. We'll keep going. So we're making it out here. Now we're back at the junction, which says Mount Horne to the right. We've already showed you this, so that's the way down. Again, that's the way to Wesley, and now we're going this way up to Mount Horne. All right, carry on, I'll follow you.
Oh, those big rocks, eh?
Yeah, wouldn't want to be in there when those came down. That would have been loud. There's Mount Wesley. That's where we were just at. And then the Wesley Ridge line that goes all the way to the east end of Cameron Lake over there. So we just did that today. We've done that whole ridge line a few times. And we're heading up this way towards, well, if you can see it, right there is Mount Horne. So that's where we're going to next. All right, carry on. After a couple minutes of up climb there, we actually get to a road. We follow this up for a while. Oh, look at this. We've been seeing lots of this already, but we know we're coming into spring when you start seeing pussy willows on the trees. So That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Right on. Oh, we'll keep going for now. Well, after a couple of kilometers on gravel road, we're coming up on the trail here. See Dar there is just popping into the bush. And that's the trail to Mount Horne. So we've already done Wesley. Might as well tag off this one while we're here. And here we go. Back into the woods for Mount Horne. And we carry on. Well, as we get closer to the top of this one, it starts to get more rock. So more of a bit of a scramble to get to the top here. It's kind of cool. I like these kind of things where it's a scramble. Yeah, we'll keep on going. Right on. So, still continuing up this hill. We're at, with the two hills, we're at just about, just over 1,100 meters. Getting closer to the top. Coming out of the woods. And we're gonna be on to rock to the top of this. So just stepping up on boulders all the way. Dar's a little bit ahead of me. But yeah, we're almost there, I think. I'll catch you up when we're at the top. Well, we made it to the top. Mount Horne, overlooking the Cameron Valley and the Alberni Valley, Alberni Inlet, Mount Arrowsmith. And that over there across the way, Mount Wesley. So we're just gonna head over to a viewpoint, which is just down this way a bit. That's the place you want to sit and have lunch or whatever, because then you get the spectacular view of Cameron Lake. All right, let's go to the viewpoint. Well, I hope you enjoyed the hike up these two peaks here. The one we're standing on and Mount Wesley over there. It's been, yeah, it's been quite a trek to get up here. Just another thing is we have just down here, you can see boats in Horne Lake down there. We're on Mount Horne, so that's Horne Lake. And I think that's Spider Lake over there. Swing yourself around, like I said, Mount Wesley, Wesley Ridge. Then you have over there, you have the CPR trail that goes up to the CPR lookout. And you can go along there up to the top of Coakley. And you can either go down the Rousseau route, or you can actually get yourself up onto Arrowsmith in behind there. So that's where we were last week, was actually up on Arrowsmith. We came in via the Cameron Valley that way over here, and then up to where we started on the trail. So yeah, another nice little look here over the Cameron Lake Valley and the Strait of Georgia. Just absolutely beautiful up here today. Gotta love it when its sun is shining. All right, well, I guess we're gonna start heading back down. Well, I hope you enjoyed that adventure. What we did was first Wesley Mountain and then down again and over to Mount Horne. So if you look actually behind us here, over here, that's Wesley. And then over here is Mount Horne. So we did those two mountains today for our adventure, which was about 1,200 meters and 12 kilometers so of gain. So that was, it was a fun time. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I enjoyed myself. Can't complain when you got beautiful weather like this.
Yeah, just fantastic. It was about, I don't know, 8 degrees probably maxed out. So good hiking weather, no bugs, no mud, no rain. Can't beat it. All right, man. Till next time. Bye for now.
Bye.